For those of you who are new here and haven't been following me, I just barely got off of the Carnival celebration, my very first Carnival cruise, so I am going to share with you today what I really enjoyed about going on Carnival, a couple of things that aren't deal breakers but weren't my favorite, and then what I really didn't like. And so I'm going to tell you about that also, really bring into focus what this means for those of us who are here and we enjoy a Carnival cruise, but you're thinking maybe you want an itinerary that covers both Holland America and Princess. What would be the best cruise ship for you? And then finally a couple of weather updates that are affecting quite a few cruise ships. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. It is Monday, November 13th of 2023, and I want to start off and invite you to please subscribe to our channel. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet or you're brand new, please hit that, and then that little bell next to it should hopefully, if you hit that, it should send you a notification every time we upload a video or go live. This evening we will be doing our live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, so I look forward to having you join us, bring your questions, get ready to have a fun time talking about cruising. We have an amazing community, so come and be with us. So thank you all very much for your wonderful support. Also, if you appreciate this video, please give it a thumbs up. Now let's start at the top. So like I said, very first Carnival cruise, I was actually really excited to go because I had not been on Carnival. I'm elite with Princess, not just because of the training that I've done, but because I have sailed that many times with Princess, and I've been on Holland America a couple of times, Norwegian a couple of times, Royal Caribbean one time, and so I felt like this will be a really good experience. So some things really stood out to me. Would I go on a Carnival cruise again? I would go, but if I had only, as you know, my husband still works full-time. So his vacation time is very precious. If I were going somewhere, he had to take vacation time, I was spending my money, I would choose to go on Princess again. I very much enjoy the Princess experience. If Princess was going somewhere, not going where I wanted to go, absolutely Holland. I enjoy Holland America. So that just gives you a little bit of what I'm thinking. Going on Carnival did not make me change my mind and suddenly want to only book Carnival. But if Carnival were going somewhere and that was the only ship going there and I wanted to go, I would go. Not afraid to go on Carnival again. So let's start at the top with some things that stood out for me. First of all, I love their crew. There is something about the crew on Carnival that is even a little bit different than at least like with my room steward, with some of the bartenders. They're remarkable on all ships. But just this last week, it really stood out to me how anxious they were to please. Really going the extra mile. There's lots of crew members around, so being a new ship, I would look at the deck plan, I've watched videos about it, and sometimes I still got lost. So I would see someone, and they were so happy to tell me where it was and usually walk me to where I wanted to go. They didn't seem like I was interrupting them, or this was the 100th time they'd been asked that question that day. And so here we go again. No, they were an absolute delight. My room steward was fantastic. I had towel animals every single day. One day I even had two really cute ones. And in visiting with him, I could tell that he was really pleased that he was able to do towel animals. He is just very much one in a million. So the crew on board Carnival, and the other thing I will point out is they are a happy family. When the cruise director comes on, every time he makes an announcement, he says, "Hello, Celebration family." And I can tell that feeling extends a lot to the crew. The crew very much feel that way. I would say it's under the magnificent direction of Christine Duffy. I got to see her on board, didn't talk to her, but I got to listen and be in the theater when she was talking to everyone, and the rapport that her crew, that all of her employees have for her is amazing. They love her, and she does a really good job of unifying everyone, of making them so happy to be where they are in the jobs that they're in. Absolutely magnificent, and that shows. The second thing that I want to talk to you about is the food. The food, I would say, was better than I don't know what I expected. I expected it to be good, actually. because a lot of you have mentioned that you really enjoy the food on a Carnival cruise. And when we were in the main dining room, when I got to try the Cucino Capitano, that's an Italian restaurant, I ate there twice. It was really, really, really good. Like, if you eat there, get the arancini, get the Nona's meatball. They have a dish that is just the captain's favorite that I got one night, and then the other night I got the eggplant parmesan. Oh my goodness, absolutely delicious. So the food on board, both in the main dining room, in that specialty restaurant, they've got also the chibang, ate there one evening. That was really good. You can choose some Chinese food, you can choose Mexican, have your whole meal of one, whole meal of another, or mix, really nice. And you can order more than one. Like, I had 2 starters because there were 2 things that I wanted to try, and so that was excellent. And then also they've got the Guys burgers, which are really good hamburgers. And then what they do is they give you a hamburger, and you can have it with cheese or not cheese. And then you go over to the station where you can put on, your onions, your lettuce, your tomatoes, all of that kind of thing. And it comes with French fries. It was really good, really good. I think it lives up to what everybody said about it. There's always, whenever I went there, there was always long lines, but they did move quickly. Same with Shaq's chicken. Oh my goodness, that is really good chicken. They've got 4 kinds of sandwiches. You can get tenders. You can just ask for a chicken breast, cut it up, go get a salad over at the buffet, put it on top of your salad. Lots of options. So those lived up to the amazing reputation that they've got. So I would say the food on Carnival is really good. Another thing I really enjoyed is they have a lot of bars. So if you've got a drink package, or even if you don't have a drink package and you want to get a drink, the bartenders there, they move quick, and of course it's a big ship, and so there's lots of people on board. Sometimes you have to wait a few minutes, but not a really long time. They did a really good job of making that available, and at each one of the bars that I visited, there were always at least 2, if not 3 bartenders. So they did a really good job of covering that with crew as well. So I thought that was great. The next thing is, they call those a fun ship for a reason. Carnival is known for their fun ships, and I would say there's a couple of reasons I think that they're known for being a fun ship, but I think the one that stood out to me the very most, well, 2 things stood out to me the most. Number 1 is everyone there on board seems all in to making sure everybody has a fun time. So there is more of a party vibe, and I'll talk to you about that more in a minute. But they have so many activities going on all day long. Their schedule of events, I should have brought one here with me. I'll put one in the photo, is like tall, and it is small print, and there is something going on, multiple things going on all day on the ship. And then sometimes the cruise director came on and announced some other things that I had looked at the schedule and didn't see there. And really, they do an outstanding job of keeping everyone as busy as they want to be. The other thing is in addition to like that schedule of events, they've always got like a movie going on out by the pool. They've got a screen that's kind of like Movies Under the Stars. It did surprise me, and we'll talk about this a minute too, for that size of a ship, how small the pool areas were. But when you think of a princess ship and that big area for Movies Under the Stars, it's not quite as big, but they've always got music going, they've got movies going. It's a really happening place there all the time, even in the evening late. So they do a really good job of having fun. They've got lots of, and then we'll kind of segue, I thought their entertainment was really good. They have shows in the theater, they've got shows in their big center stage area, they've got comedians, they've got singers, they've got a pianist, they've got all of these things going on. There's karaoke, I believe I saw karaoke every night. Just lots and lots of entertainment. There was a white night, deck party one night, just so much entertainment. They do a really good job with it. Hats off. They do a really good job with it. The next thing, the final thing here, I love that you have to sign for every drink you get. I cannot tell you how many people send me emails. They've gotten off a Princess cruise, and mind you, this is with Princess having a medallion, and they get charged for drinks they did not get. And, I'm sure that here and there are people who try to scam the system, that get a drink and then go try to get it taken off their tab. But honestly, I think that is rare. I don't think that happens very often. One nice Let's Go family member sent me an email not long ago. She was on a Princess cruise, got charged for a bottle of wine she did not order. So she goes down to guest services, they take it off. And what do? They put it on her tab again on disembarkation day after she's off the ship. So that charge goes to her credit card. So on Carnival, you sign for every drink you get. If you have a drink package, which I had on this trip, the total will be $0, and you can add a tip if you want. And but you sign for every single drink, even if your balance is $0. And so every time, I asked for a bottle of water, got a Diet Pepsi, there was a receipt for it, and I had to sign for it. I love that approach because it takes away the guesswork. I don't think you have to worry on Carnival about getting charged for something you didn't buy. And I love, love, love that. You still have to give them your, of course, every time you ask for a drink, whether you have a package or not, you have to hand them your room card. But then they print out that receipt and you signed that you received it. So I think that's really great. I think Princess should go back to that. A lot of times, like even if you're in the main dining room, if you're at the bar, you have to tell them your cabin number, which surprises me with that technology they've got. And I asked the waiter in the main dining room, I'm like, we have our medallion. Why do you still have to ask our room number? And he's like, we can't always see it. And so I think that if they would do that, as well as the other cruise lines, I think you should have to sign every time you get a drink. Let's see. Okay, so those are all the things that I really enjoyed. Now, what I wasn't so crazy about is, and these are not deal breakers, so I told you how they have, the Guys Burgers, they've got the Shack's Chicken, they've got Pig and Anchor, they have all these other places. You know what? Those are only open for limited hours in a day. It's not like you can think, okay, I'll go there for breakfast. If I don't make it for breakfast, I'll go there for for brunch. And then, if I want, dinner there, they're not open for dinner. And at least not on any of the days that I tried to go there. Or that I looked at the schedule. But, so that's one thing I don't like. I think it's awesome that they have them, but I also wish that they were open all the time. The buffet is open quite a bit there. Every once in a while, though, like when they are switching from like breakfast to lunch, there is time that it is closed. And so you do kind of have to time when you go get things. But overall, that's just one thing that stood out to me. I thought you've got these amazing venues and they're not open all the time. And my guess would be because they don't have enough staff to run them. Because, for example, I recognized when I went to Guys Burgers, I recognized the crew member who was putting the hamburgers together as the nice gentleman that waited on us in the shebang the night before. And that happens across the board. So I think it's probably a staffing issue. The other thing, and I know this is the funny side of me, I don't think their cabins are as beautifully appointed as Princess's are. Now, I had an interior cabin, and this is going to be a whole nother discussion on this cruise because I booked late and I had to be in the group space allotted to during vacations for their conference, and there were only interiors left, so I did that. But overall, I got to see in some of the balcony cabins, and they're just not quite as beautifully appointed, and that's not a bad thing. It's just a different thing, but it stood out to me. Now, the things that I didn't really care for, I'm going to say on this trip, I didn't really have time to lounge by the pool because we were in meetings all the time. And so that made a difference as far as that goes. But really, the pools are very small for the number of people on that ship. So if that ship is sailing at double occupancy, there are 5,374 passengers. That's just double occupancy. But, there's a lot of 3-person capacity cabins, 4-person, and so on capacity cabins. She can hold up to 6,500 passengers. And we were sailing at full capacity. I don't know if it was full for double or full for everything, but when I asked to see if there was happened to be a balcony cabin that I could please have instead, I was even willing to pay for it. There were none available. And then they told me, but both times I asked, that they were completely sold out. So the pool area is small. The rest of the ship, I would say they spread people out well. They spread people out well for dining with all of the different options that there are, and they spread people out well for entertainment, I feel like. Other than that, I didn't feel like it was super crowded on the ship. There were a lot of people, a lot of places, but I felt like we were spread out. Another thing that really stood out to me is how noisy it is. It is much louder. Just noisier on that ship than it is if you go on on any ship that I'd been on before. So it was I would say, probably we went on Explorer of the Seas for Royal Caribbean, and I would say it was most similar to that with the noise level, but it was just really noisy. Right when we got on the ship, they had music playing. You come in there on deck 6, and they had some music going, and it was so loud. loud. I don't know how anybody could, I didn't have anyone to talk to at that point because I was by myself, but it'd be hard to carry on a conversation and you would have to yell to do it. So, and it was quite noisy a lot of the time. Another thing I don't like, I have never heard anybody through my cabin walls on another cruise ship before, and I heard people a lot on this cruise between my cabin walls. 4 o'clock in the morning, I got woke up by my neighbors fighting, and so it took me a while to go back to sleep. But other than that, I heard conversations a lot through the walls, and sometimes voices were raised, but sometimes I could just hear them. And so that stood out to me. And then the party vibe that I mentioned a minute ago, on one hand, it's fun. It's like we're on vacation. We're going to have a fun time. But it was really interesting, I thought, when we were in the main dining room, when we were in specialty dining, they would go around and you could buy a shot if you want of alcohol. And so it's just kind of, that's not bad. It's just different than what I have been used to on other cruise lines. But I think it kind of, and a lot of people, I saw people buying them quite a bit. And so I think that adds a little bit to the party thing. And some party things I appreciate. I did see people who drank too much. And I don't know really how much the shots contributed to that. But it is much more that way on that ship than any of the other ships that I had been on. So those are the things that stood out to me the most. I would be really happy to answer your questions that you have about Carnival. And if you want to book a cruise and you would like to have me be your travel agent, I'm delighted to. And I would be happy to visit with you to help you determine, based on what cruise experience you've had, or if you've not cruised yet, what you enjoy, to pick out the very best cruise line and the best kind of ship for you. Having said that, I have gotten some questions from people, and most recently just this morning or last night from someone who enjoys going on Carnival, but they want to go on a Panama Canal. So they're thinking Holland America, the Rotterdam, that is just sailing right now through the Panama Canal on that voyage, or if they should go on Princess. And so here are a few things that I want you to think about if you enjoy Carnival and you're trying to decide what to do, whether it's for the destination or if you just want to branch out and try something different. Okay. The thing that really makes the biggest difference to me is on Carnival, you have a lot more, like I said, just like the party vibe. We're on vacation. There's lots of things to do. There's always music going on. There is always activities going on. From that standpoint, I would definitely choose Princess. Princess does a really good job of having lots of activities during the day. Throughout the evening, there are movies going on, movies under the stars, which I love movies under the stars. And I don't take time to watch a movie when I am at home, but I really enjoy that on a cruise ship. There is lots of music. There are places to dance, all of this stuff going on. Holland America is a lot quieter. And so along with that, Holland America does have music going. They've got their rock and roll music going. They took away their Lincoln Center stage, but they've still got like the blues music going on where you can dance right there. Overall though, Princess has more. And Princess has the piazza as well. It's a place people love to sit in the daytime. They'll have activities there, but it's a nice place to sit and listen to the different kinds of music they have. Sometimes they'll have, like violinists and cellists and all of that playing music. Sometimes, like on our Island Princess, there was a guy who was really good at the electric guitar. He would play just lots of different kinds of music going on there. And it's a nice place to sit and enjoy a drink and have a little something to eat if you want, and just watch the world go by. It's a really nice place to do that. And Holland America does not have an equivalent of that. I would say the nicest place to sit and just enjoy. They've got their crow's nest that has the beautiful views out the front up there. And it's a nice place to sit. It's close to like a coffee place and the bar and everything, but it's not quite the same. So if you really enjoy having lots to do, and you really enjoy having like lots of music, lots of activities in the evening, I think Princess is a better match. Now, when you're going to go through the Panama Canal, think of this. You just need to decide which locks you want to go through. The newer locks can fit bigger ships, okay? The historic locks, or the old locks, whatever you want to call it, those can only take smaller ships. And that's very much going to dictate which ship you get. For our group cruise that we're doing on the Coral Princess in February of 2025, it is the Coral Princess because I really want to see the historic locks. So if you want to come with us, send me an email. I'm a little bit behind on my emails, but I'm going to get caught up within the next couple of days here. But because I was gone, and it does slow you down on board a ship. And let me throw this in there. Carnival had good Wi-Fi. They really had good Wi-Fi. The corker is you can have one device. They've got 3 different levels of Wi-Fi. I paid for the top one so that you can like stream videos, upload things like that, but you can only use one device at a time. So the people that I did talk with, I had to use my Ring Central and the speaker on my laptop so that I could talk to them and use my laptop at the same time. Kind of drove me crazy, but that's okay. But you do just get that one device on Carnival, and if you want 2 devices, you have to pay for a whole nother package. So I'm not going to do that. It's too expensive. But anyway, so that's how you that would be the big question going through the Panama Canal. Decide which locks you want to see. There are excursions on like the ones that go through the big locks. Often the cruise lines will offer an excursion that will take you through the smaller locks on a smaller ship through the old locks. And so just kind of look at everything and talk to your travel agent, decide what you think would be best. But that's the guidance that I would give. And so if you have been on Carnival and you would like to try something new, I definitely recommend giving Princess a whirl. You can also give Holland America a whirl. Holland America does amazing itineraries that nobody else does. And so that is another benefit to going on Holland America. And the 2 Holland America cruises that I've been on, I thoroughly enjoyed. Holland America is a really big player in Alaska too. So if you are going to Alaska, like Holland America or Princess, and we can talk about the merits between those 2 an awful lot. But they're who you want to go to Alaska on. So let me know what your questions are. Thanks for being here with me. Oh, wait, we've got to talk about the weather. So really quickly, in the South Pacific, there is a cyclone, and it is a not to be messed with cyclone. So people who are on the Majestic Princess have found out that they are going to lose 2 days of stopping in ports. They're going to have an extra day in Noumea now instead, but they are leaving the whole area there where that cyclone is going to hit. So that's the Majestic. The Coral Princess going around Australia, they are also missing 2 ports for safety reasons so that they can get back and be in a safe place as that cyclone moves through. Finally, another person is on the Pacific Explorer, which had to be diverted due to the cyclone. And so I guess that cyclone is pretty close to Fiji. And so they were going to stop in Suva tomorrow, but instead they're just going straight back to Auckland. They said that the seas were starting to get a little bit rough already where they were. And then finally, the MSC Merviglia, were supposed to be in Bermuda. And so you can see what a big storm this is, and I was trying to decide if they're 2 different storms. I wasn't sure. And so anyway, with Bermuda, they were supposed to be in Bermuda for 3 days, and they are not able to do that, and they're going to go to 2 different ports as well. So there are several cruise ships that are being impacted by weather, and I am sure that there are others too. These are just ones people were kind and shared with me. So if you're on a cruise ship, let us know how it's going. Would you send me an email or put it in the comments? Let me know what you think about Carnival in the comments. Would you be willing to give it a try? I am really happy that I tried it. I'm really glad that I tried it. If I could change anything about my week, it would be to have a balcony cabin, and we're going to talk about that in another video, but it was great. I had a nice time. So, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll see you tonight at our live. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.